Hi, this is Hardball Retro. Welcome to the Retrodome. Today's game is Baseball Strategy. This was published in 1981 by Avalon Hill. This is a conversion of a tabletop baseball game. Um, it was available for Apple II, TRS-80, Commodore PET, and Atari 400, 800 computers. Um, I don't have the instructions for this game, so I'm going to wing it here, but I did want to at least present the fact that this game was available back in the early 80s. Um, so let's go ahead and get started, and we'll see how far along I can get into this. So it's prompting me for a park size. I'm just going to go with regular. And then the starting pitcher. So it doesn't have any actual player names. So you're selecting from a group of player cards, and I guess we're basing this off of their statistics here. So I'm just going to go with number 10. And then for my lineup, my catcher, 12. I have one choice at first base. Second base will go with 4. We've got a guy hitting 181 or a guy hitting 292. So we'll go with the 292 hitter, 297, 380, 46 batter, 296. All right, then I have to choose my batting order, and it really doesn't tell me which ones I've already used. I mean, it might if I do it in error, but so I'm just going to go. Again, since it's just a demo, I'm just going to go in reverse order of batting average here. I know that's not really how you select the lineup. That's what I'm using today. And these are fictional players anyway, so we've got a 297, we've got a 296, 292, 286. Okay, so you get a little diagram of the field, scoreboard up top, inning, visitor at bat. So if I press a key here, I'm going to be prompted for a pitch. So the only thing I could find online for this was the pitch cards, which I will include a link in the notes when I upload this. But basically, you've got 7 pitch cards. You've got an A fastball, B breaking pitch, C off speed, then D, E, and F repeat. So it's D fastball, E breaking pitch, F off speed, and G is a pitch out. So let's choose, doesn't matter. Okay, fly out shows the guy running to first, but he's out. Okay, you don't see the path of the ball. You don't really see much going on other than a guy running the bases. So it is a one pitch mode. You don't have to sit here and go pitch by pitch. So let's try C for off speed. Ground out. And we'll go A fastball. Fly out. All right, so I should be batting now. Okay, there's our half inning completed so far. Choose your swing. Now, so far, the only thing I figured out is 1, 2, and 3, and I don't know what each one of those means. So, 3. Maybe one is more contact, one is more for power, one of them one is just a normal swing. I'm not too sure. I couldn't find any instructions that would indicate that. So ground out. Okay, we've got a runner on base. Now, there might be a way to attempt a steal or something. I don't know. I'm not sure how to do it. So, strikeout. So it didn't matter anyway. All right, through one inning, no runs, no hits, no errors for both sides. Choose your pitch. Now I'm back to the A through F. G is only a pitch out, so B. There's a single, so he has a runner on. So just for giggles, pitch out. No result. Okay, I guess he wasn't running. Ground out. So we only got the runner going to first. Let's do a fastball. Strikeout. And why did the runner go to third? Interesting. B. Strikeout. All right. So we've seen a single and a walk so far, at least. A couple of strikeouts. Choose your swing. 2. Walk. Okay. So just for example, if I type in a 5, let's see what happens. Fly out. All right, I thought I tried a 4 earlier and it didn't work. Let's see. 4. Long belt. Double. Okay, I like 4. Let's try 4 again. Slow runner on third may advance. Let's say no. Fly out. All right, so now we've got 2 outs. Let's try 5. Illegal choice. But 5 worked earlier. 4. And that's a ground out, so we failed to score. All right. Well, we've seen a single and a double, at least. Had some runners on. Let's go with a C. That was the wrong choice. There's a double. F. Steal attempt. Runner on second base out attempting to steal. Okay, cool. I didn't even have to do anything there. Choose your pitch. E. Pass ball. Well, guess what? Nobody's on base. Doesn't matter. Ground out. Fastball. Strikeout. All right. Low scoring affair so far. Oh, yeah. 2. Double. Nice. 3. Pass ball. There we go. Here's our first run of the game. And the hometown team takes the 1-0 lead. Let's go with a 4. Fly out. All right. 3. Strikeout. So I've never played the tabletop version, but I imagine that it's basically what we're looking at here is, with the exception of your flipping cards. At least that's what it looked like from the couple of photos that I found online. Choose your pitch. Fastball. Double. Stolen base. Successful steal. So if there's anyone out there that's ever played this, I'd be interested to hear about it in the comments, whether there were any licensed player cards at any point, or maybe an add-on disc for this instead of just using the generic players. Let's go with fastball again. And it's another double, so the visitors are on the board. And it's a tie ball game. B. Oh, our pitcher is in a bit of trouble here. C. Fly out and the runner out. Double play. Nice. All right, get out of the inning. 1-1 after 3.5. So fairly rudimentary stuff here. Obviously the screen, not a whole lot to look at, but it gives you a visual representation of the game, at least. I've probably mentioned it a few times, but I'm more of a fan of simulation, but with using the real players, either replaying a specific year or mixing and matching players from different eras. I'm working on a set of libraries for Digital Diamond right now that incorporate players that were on, basically putting players back on their original teams and using like 5-year intervals. So like the 80 through 84 teams, or the 85 through 89 season, so on. But putting players back on the first team that they were drafted or signed by. So I like doing that type of simulation. I will play the occasional arcade style game, but my reflexes aren't what they used to be. And this type of game with fictional players doesn't really interest me. but it is a baseball computer game, so I am going to cover it here. And like I said, there may have been player cards issued for this at some point, or a disc. So I didn't want to omit it, just out of based on my preferences. It does still fall into the category of baseball games, so we are going to do a playthrough for you here. Choose your pitch. Fastball. Walk. Okay, fastball's not coming up good for us anymore. If we go to, what did I say E was? Is that a breaking ball? Yeah, it's a breaking ball. All right. This is your off-speed pitch. There's a grounder. So we've got an out at first, I'm assuming, and a guy on third now. Fastball. Try to get a strikeout. There we go. And off speed. Fly out. Good. All right, so the home team is up 2-1. Getting the switch from the letters to the numbers here. You can kind of zip through a game fairly quickly here if you remember that you're using numbers instead of letters for offense. Error. Okay. So, I remember seeing error before, so I wonder if they're calling like that passed ball an error or something. I don't know. You see up on the scoreboard that there's 3 errors and 2 errors, but that was the first one I recall actually seeing. Oh, strikes out. 2 down. Strike out again. All right. After 5 complete, 2-1. Home team. Choose your pitch. Choose your pitch. D. So I know this isn't the game that we're discussing right now, but just to follow on to the story I was telling earlier with Digital Diamond, I did create a series of what they call libraries, basically, the different seasons with the rosters and the lineups all configured, schedule, and so forth. And I did a series of libraries that it's called the Retro World Baseball Classic. So if you want to check that out, you head over to Digital Diamond Baseball's website and go to libraries and scroll down a bit, and you'll see that listed there. So with that particular library, or set of libraries, it's again, I forget, I think I did 5 or 10-year subsets of that, and it's based on the birthplace of each player. So there'll be a team from Dominican Republic and a team from the Asian team would be, like the 2020 Asian team would have Shohei Ohtani on it. Goes back to I think the 1900s. So anyway, might be, if you're interested in that type of thing, go ahead and check that out. the walkthrough I did for Digital Diamond. I think it was Team Asia versus Team one of the USA teams, the team with Mike Trout on it. So there was a Otani Trout matchup, I believe, at some point. Oh, there's a single. So if you notice up top, it just says right under the inning, it'll say home and then the number of the player that's at bat. So uh, I have a feeling based on the way that this is formatted that they don't have player discs for this, individual seasons or anything like that. But they might have done it for the tabletop game, so interested to hear any feedback on this. Choose your swing. 4. No result. All right. How about a 2? Double. And that's going to make it 4-1. There's a ground out. I'm looking at my list. I still have a handful of games from the 80s to get to, but I'm looking at the 90s and early 2000s and running into some issues getting games working in a virtual environment. So um, still have my old XP machine, so I'm going to fire that up and attempt to get some of those games working there and see if I can get the capture the video from there, and maybe do a voiceover or figure something out. But, I've got a number of games that will not run on Windows 10. Tried to do a Windows 98 environment in DOSBox X and not having any luck. So we'll try the XP machine. I know I've got a number of games that will run on there. High Heat and I think Tony La Russa 4. MVP Baseball, Triple Play, some of those titles, Microsoft Baseball. So we'll see if we can start getting some of those videos out. Let's try fastball. There's a ground out. Right, through 6.5. So there's not, unfortunately, I guess that's why I'm going a little off track on my commentary here, because there's not a whole lot to this game here. For the sake of completeness, I figured I'd show it, but not having the manual, I'm sure I'm missing out on a couple things, but it is what it is. And also, it's just fun for me to see the evolution of the graphics. Like, okay, they made an attempt to draw a field here. It's barely. It's something. In the animated runner. But you go a few years later, and you've got Minor League Baseball. We do have from 81, 82, you've got Computer Baseball by SSI, which again, kind of like stick figure animation, a little, a small dot representing the ball. And then, moving on to Micro League, you've got a little bit of slightly better animation with a generic stadium. And then you move forward a few more years and you have Earl Weaver Baseball, which just kind of blows the doors off of the rest of these games. Um, Hardball, as far as the arcade action side of things was concerned. And so, just for me, it's a lot of fun to see how the games evolved. Obviously, there was systems had uh, more available in terms of graphical capabilities, sound, uh, disk space with the evolution of hard drives, and then CD-ROM. So, kind of tough to compare like Atari Home Run baseball to a game that came out 5 or 10 years later. But you know, on the other hand, 1977, 78, the fact that you could plug a console into your television and play any form of baseball you know, was kind of revolutionary at the time. Okay, we're rambling on here, and it's 4-1 home team. We're in the 8th with 1 out, runner on base, visitors up. I'm going to throw a fastball here. Line out. Okay. I don't remember seeing a line out before, so that's cool. Breaking pitch. Stolen base attempt. Successful steal. They're down by 3. They got to get something going, right? Let's go with the off speed. That's a ground out, so that's going to be 3 down. We're going to the bottom of the 8th, and the home squad up 4-1. All right. Strikeout. There's a double. Ground out. Runner to third. 2 outs. Oh, who draws the walk? Base hit here would give us an insurance run, but we line out. All right, 4-1, 8 complete. Choose your pitch. Okay, there's 1 down. C. Single. I can get a little rally going for the visitors. D. Fastball. Fly out. Why is the guy running to second? Really? Tagged up? Interesting. Breaking ball. Steal attempt. Oh. That run doesn't mean much, so not overly concerned. Fastball. Error. Okay. Well, now it's interesting. Now it's 4-2. Off speed pitch. And there's a ground out. That should do it. See what we get at the end here. Final score 4-2. Home team 9 hits to 7. Both teams had 3 errors. Do I get a box score? You wish to play again? Yes. To exit, press no. No box score. All right. So that is Baseball Strategy, Avalon Hill, Sports Illustrated. Look it up. Let me know if you have played this game ever, either the computer or the tabletop version. Just shoot me a comment if you have the rules for this game. I'm sure I probably missed a couple things. I didn't know how to try to execute a steal attempt, for example. So um, but that's going to wrap it up for today's game. Keep playing ball, and we'll see you soon. Take care.